What's up, everybody? Another wonderful Monday night at Chewin the BBQ Fat. As I've said, something new is going on at Chewin the BBQ Fat. I've been trying to do some things. Nobody wanted to hear me talk so much. They want good people on, good cooks to come on, great people to come on. So I went out and I got myself a co-host.
Good evening.
Adam, how you doing, my man?
Doing good.
Good. What'd you do today?
Picked up chickens and worked on the whale house and cooked 20 racks of ribs at the fire department.
20 racks of ribs. You know what? You got 16th place in ribs last week. So you're like, what? Screw this. I'm going to go cook a whole bunch of ribs, right?
That's right.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Man, we got a great show tonight. We got a lot going on. We've got I've always said I want to push contest. There is a premier contest coming up. No, let me rephrase that. There is a premier contest that is coming up. That the registration is coming up. This registration fills up fast. This registration is hot. This is the contest you want to cook. If you don't cook Atlanta Barbecue Store Classic, you want to cook this one because this is up there with it. If not, better. I'll have to give him credit. The guy's amazing. This guy can put on a contest. He can cook. He can do it all. My man, I'm just going to go ahead and bring on Jason Cole. How you doing, Jason?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Oh, man, it's such a pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
And this is going to be something new that we normally don't do, but I'm going to go ahead and bring on another set of great friends of ours, great cooks, incredible people. We can call them grand champions, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just big-time grand champions. They don't just win small contests. They go out there and they just win big, and they do amazing things. So let's go ahead and bring on David and Joel with Kith and Ken. How are you doing, guys?
Great. Wow. Like Tony the Tiger. Great.
Tell you what, it's going to be a good night. If you can't tell, it's going to be a good night. There you go. That's going to be the key to how this show is going to go tonight. It's going to be a ton of fun. So, Jason, I'm just going to go right ahead. You got the background. You're looking good. I mean, you've got everything happening first class. Go ahead. Let's talk about this thing. What's going on?
Man, it is absolutely crazy to think that we're opening registration 6 months before a competition. But we've got a lot of people that have asked us when we're going to open. So we just made a decision that from this point forward, going every year, we're going to open registration October 1st. Our team has been working really hard since the last competition to make sure this next competition is even better than the one we just had. So we're excited. Website's ready to go, smokeontheshores.com. There's a little countdown there that tells you when we open up registration. It's next Tuesday. So before I go to bed on Monday night, I want to turn it on, and we hope to have a lot of teams. Our goal has always been to get bigger than we were the year before. So we're hoping to have 150 plus this year or this next year.
So what did you have last year?
We had 50 pro. We had 97 pro sign up, but then we had a few back out. So I think we ended up with like 93, 94 pro. So we'd like to have 100 pro and 50 backyard. We can go larger. So if we need to, we got plenty of room. We got plenty of space. We got plenty of water, plenty of power. We already ordered the trophies, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Amazing facilities.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yep.
you're at a campground or a campus, fairgrounds.
It's at a fairgrounds. We're on asphalt. Some people are lucky that get this to be next to the Locust this year. That was really, really nice. That, Dave and Joel, they really like that tree that the Locust really loved.
Loved it. It's awesome.
Unknown flavor.
I'll take it.
Unknown flavor.
Unknown flavor. That's right. But we have plenty of power, plenty of water. We just have an amazing partnership with the fairgrounds, and they really take care of us. So we're going to open registration up, see how it goes. So yeah, we're excited.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one more question. I'm gonna open it up to Adam and let him ask you some questions. Then we're even gonna let David and Joel ask about your contest too.
Okay.
What is it for a new organizer, for somebody that wants to get into competition barbecue and host an event?
Yeah.
What is something, because you do a very successful event. We all know that you're an incredible organizer. You do wonderful. What is it? What is something that you can give a bit of advice to a first-time organizer?
Well, I appreciate the accolades, but I'm actually just the face of Smoke on the Shores. Maybe an ugly face, but I'm the face. The people that do all the work is my wife, Brandy, Eric Cantrell, Kelly Crecilius. They do all the work. And that's, I would say, if you're going to put on a contest, whether it's 20 teams, 40 teams, 100 teams, it doesn't matter. You got to have a good people with you to do it. I couldn't do it by myself. Jeff, when I started this years ago, should have been 10 years this year, but we had to cancel it because of COVID. But you got to have a good team, and you got to trust that people are going to do their jobs. So I would say that first and foremost, you got to have a lot of good people around you. And then obviously you just got to put on a good show. Do what you say and say what you do. Right. So as a cook team, I'm sure, thanks, Wes. I'm sure you've been in contests before where, hey, they're supposed to have power and they get there and there's not power, or there's not water. We just do what we say we're going to do. And we want to be one of the premier contests in the country. So we want to make sure that everyone shows up, has a great time. We have some amazing awards, and put on a good show. So I don't know if that helps anybody, but there you go.
No, it does. I mean, I think that's something that people don't understand is how much work is actually involved. I mean, you can just throw something together, but if you have a team around you, it really does help.
It takes a long time. So, like I said, we start planning. We take a few months off, and then we start planning. Not too long after that, like what are our gifts going to be? We have goals. We do an after action review to what went well, what didn't go well, what we could change. Even though things may not seem like they're going well, there's always something going wrong behind the scenes. I'm sure you all know. And our goal is to make sure that no one knows about it. So we just try to put on a good show, make sure everyone has a good time. And I think we've done well so far. We can always be better.
Right. All right, Adam.
It's a hard one because it's a pretty good contest. You got an Uber for downtown Nashville?
What's that?
Uber for downtown Nashville?
Well, there is a train station in Lebanon that goes to downtown Nashville. So I'm not sure the hours, but it's the Music City Star. They go. There's a stop in Lebanon. It goes all the way to Nashville, drops you off right on 2nd Avenue. I'm not sure what the last time the train is. I think maybe 10 o'clock. But if you're like some people we know that get there really late and have to try to find a way to get in. This happened before. He may be watching right now. But yeah, there's Ubers back and forth. We're only like 20 minutes away from Nashville, maybe 25 minutes. So it's not far.
Anything new and exciting going to happen at Smoke on the Shores this year?
I don't know. You got to show up. We got to find out. We're still putting final details together. It's again, we're 6 months out. It's crazy that we're talking about registration, but we'll probably fill it pretty quickly. We're praying that we do. Again, all this is for charity. So just like Brian does an amazing contest, we do it all for charity. So we give it Operation Barbecue Relief, Operation Stand Down Tennessee, and the Inner City to Nashville Inner City Ministries. So we're just trying to better our community, promote competition barbecue. Because we've always, there used to be a contest here in Nashville and it shut down. So that's when Jeff and I decided, hey, why not us? Why couldn't we do this? So it's just grown from there. So, and we couldn't do it with the support of our barbecue family to be there for us.
That's awesome. David Joel, what you got for him?
Yeah, well, I think that, I was thinking about what makes a good contest, and obviously it's a great organizer. It's great trophies. It's great money. And what's going to, Adam kind of alluded to it and asked the question, what's going to make this contest so much better going forward? Is it opening up to the public? Is it a bouncy house? I mean, is it having an actual fair type atmosphere to it? I mean, there's just so much you could do, but obviously with you being a cook, you go around to so many different contests. Are there some of those things that you see that you want to incorporate into your contest?
I really like what Brian's done. I even like what's like Sip and Swan. I think Sip and Swan and Brian do a phenomenal job when it comes to getting the public out there. In the early years, we tried to do that, but it didn't really work out. And I think that's part of the time of the year. So you never know what's going to happen in March in Nashville. It could snow, it could rain, we could have thunderstorms, we could have tornado watches. In fact, we've had it all. So it snowed. One year it snowed before turn in, and by awards it melted. So that's a hindrance for us. It's just the time of the year. So maybe one year we'll have some fireworks or Ferris wheels or something like that. But right now we want to focus on making sure we put on one of the best barbecue contests in the country, and that's our main goal. Is just continue to put on a good show, so that teams and judges from all over the country and a few around the world will want to come here.
It snowed on us 2 years ago. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
We're packing up. David goes, "What's that white stuff?" That's snow.
Yeah. It full on snowed. We were at Nashville Shores one year, one of the early years, and people were making snowmen. So that was really cool. There are actually some pictures on about it.
I mean, and that's living in the Mid-South and Nashville area, right? Like,
yeah,
and it's going to be that heavy wet
Well,
snow.
and you like this time of year, right? Because you get
It
to kick off the season for a lot of folks, I guess. That's what you like to do. Yeah.
Yeah. When we first started doing the contest, there really wasn't a contest in March. So we didn't want to compete with anybody. So we thought March would be a really good time. And plus the venue we were at, it was their off season. It was a water park, or is a water park. It was their off season. So they had an RV park that we rented out. And so it worked out really good. And then, it's just worked out this way that we're one of the first contests in March. I mean, there's contests in Florida and other parts of the country. The Sip and Swan is one of the big ones. And then we're the week after them.
Yeah.
It's a great it really is a great contest.
Great contest, great location.
As a team.
One thing I will say that what you're hitting what you're hitting as something that I could say as an organizer that you do very well is you're not trying to do too much, right? You want to put on the best barbecue contest you can put on. Once you start, like for us, we've added to it, right? And once you add to it, it takes away a little bit of what you're able to focus in on. And it takes you in multiple directions. So do what you do well, right? And I think that's what you and your team have come up with. And your goal is to put on an incredible contest. And that's what y'all do very well. The barbecue contest is great. I could see you being able to add on. Do y'all do the People's Choice and that kind of stuff, or is that no? We've
talked about it, but we haven't done it. We was going to talk about doing it one year, along with adding a public aspect to it, and in conjunction with the city, but it didn't work out. But
yeah, you can't do a People's Choice if you don't have public showing up. That's our problem, right? It's like, how do you get people to show up? That's the whole thing, right? The whole game is figuring out.
That's the trick, and weather plays a lot with it, right? So if it's raining or snowing or whatever, the public's not going to come out. But we have an amazing team that helps with this. Friends from high school that help set everybody into places. I mean, we couldn't do this without them. So we're just happy to do it, and we're looking forward to it. Still got some planning to do. Still got to figure out a few things, but website's ready to rock and roll. So it should open.
So let's go back and start this whole thing over again. What is going on with Smoke on the Shores? When can people sign up, and how can they sign up?
So go to our website, smokeontheshores.com. It opens up October 1st. So just go to that website, fill out the forms. If you're a judge or a team, fill out the forms. And if you sign up, there is an option to pay right then if you want to. But registration is not due, or fees aren't due until the 1st of January.
That's great.
Hey, are you looking for sponsors still, like Leonard Barbecue Store or?
Yeah. Brian and Ella were awesome to give us sponsors this year. They sponsored the winners of the categories. So I'm hoping they'll come back for us again this year, because that was a nice little gift for people who won the categories.
We love helping. We love helping out. We love having you.
And speaking of having you, one of these years you'll
all right. So what is the date of the contest? So we have talked about when you can sign up, but I don't know if we've even mentioned the dates to the contest yet.
It's March 14th, 15th.
So I'm not going to say anything, but we don't start baseball in the spring until March 23rd.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I mean, it might be a hey, Adam, let's go cook together, or I might call somebody and be like, hey, let's go do this as a team. But there is a good chance that I couldn't agree anymore with you, little gringo. Local liquor distributors are amazing sponsors.
Yes.
Need to be hit up nonstop.
Only if I knew one.
I know.
Or go back
if we could find one, Jason, that would be amazing. Maybe we could go in together and be like, how about y'all partner up with our two contests?
Yeah.
And we'll have our contest, y'all's contest be like a dual contest, and the winner of it maybe get something. I think that would be kind of cool.
That would be really cool. Do you know anybody?
There's a great guy. I mean, I think he just won a contest. I think he just won a lot of money too at a contest.
We probably won't talk to us because he's highfalutin.
Green is freezing
break it up.
I will mention that if anybody's cooking like Sip and Swine the week before, if someone wants to drop their trailer out of our site, they can. As long as you don't need power, there's no charge. The fairgrounds is large enough that we can find a place to put you. If you want power, there is a $25 charge per day. So, but if someone's coming in, and we've had several people do it, where they want to just drop it off because they don't want to have to travel back to wherever they're going, just come back in. We have that option as well. Just let us know if you email us at nashvillesmoke.com or nashvillesmoke@gmail.com. We'll take care of you.
Eric,
on that, I will say, because we looked into doing it on our way to Sevierville.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to spend the night there because we were leaving late. We actually stayed at the Smoke on the Nashville Shores.
Oh yeah,
because they had something going on, so they didn't have room for us. But she was so nice and accommodating.
Yeah,
there's an RV dump there. I mean, it's for $25. It's a no brainer.
Yep.
So thank y'all.
Well, Jason, I'm going to, and I'm going to let Adam talk. I know he's my co-host, and I'm just, I'm over talking my co-host here. I am really pushing, and I'm going to see if you would be interested in pushing this. I would love to see the Team of the Year calendar go back to the calendar year. I think and this is just my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. I think it is the dumbest thing in the world that KCBS, one of the many dumb things they do, but the dumbest thing in the world they did was change the calendar to November or October 31st, unless we have another contest that doesn't get in that year, and we want to make sure that they get taken care of. And granted, it is the biggest contest in the world. I get it, but let's make changes for them. And why not do things? Go to January 1 to December 31st. Get over it. Go back to the contest. Now you really are one of the very first contests of the year. It really does make people want to come out to you. It helps the later contest. I'm pushing for that. We're going to stir it up, and that's what I'm hoping for. So I hope that other people can get on board with that, and what it is. So what are your thoughts, Jason? You probably are the one guy that changed it, aren't you?
I actually am. Yes.
Yeah. So. There you go. Dumb.
But
I know the reason why, because everything else. But that has fallen apart, and that doesn't happen anymore. So
the reason why that was changed, some people pitched the idea, was so that the banquet would be held with the invitational, but they're not doing that anymore. So if that's not going to be the case, I mean, I think I'm cool with moving it to January to December as a calendar year like it used to be. So
I think we need to do things to help barbecue instead of hinder barbecue, and that to me is one of the things that's hindering barbecue instead of helping it. So it's anyway. I'm going to be a big proponent, and I think you're going to see with the new Chewin the BBQ Fat. I've always tried to be politically correct, and you know what? I've watched other people. Nobody else is politically correct anymore, so we're just going to tell people what we think, and that's why I brought in Adam, because he loves to stir up stuff. I'm kidding. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let Adam keep us all under control. So, Adam, before we let Jason go, we've kept him on here 5 minutes longer than he wanted to be in here. Is there anything else that you wanted to close Jason with?
No, just thank you for having a good contest. And him and Eric always try to get whatever you need. If you need something, they'll just go get it. They don't care. They'll go find it for you.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
They've always
Great contest.
Phone and call them. They'll get you what you need.
Little Gringo, if you will put in the comments the link that Jason keeps telling us, and possibly even that email address that he gave us, if you'll put that in there for us, that would be great. Jason, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for what you do for barbecue. Sure do appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. And y'all go have a great day.
You too, sir. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you soon. All right. Man, what a great guy. I love it. I love the fact that what he's doing. I think he's amazing. Great organizer. He's got something going on with us and him teaming up and finding a great distributor to team up our two teams and see if we could make something happen. I don't know if it doesn't have to be a liquor distributor, doesn't have to be any of that kind of stuff, but I think that would be kind of cool. The Land Barbecue Store Classic, Smoke on the Shores, coming together, doing something cool to have a big contest or something that's going to be
Georgia, Tennessee playoff kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool. I mean, we're trying to get, we were trying to get some of Proud Souls teams to come down to cook our contest and do like an ABS versus Proud Souls at our contest. Chris was like, you know what? I'm coming. I'm gonna beat y'all by myself. And I don't know if the other teams didn't want to come or what, but he's like, look, I got this. So ABS team's going to put it out there to you. We're going to have to you're going to have to take it to old Chris and at Proud Souls at our contest. So.
I like it though. You're actually talking about ABS teams competing from a points chase against Proud Soul teams.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, like a Ryder Cup, like a
Bragging
Ryder
rights.
Cup.
Yeah.
A trophy. Who gets a trophy every
We got to figure it all out. I'm telling you. I mean, everybody's worried because ABS has the best teams in the.
Well, there's that.
I love Wes. It's funny.
That would be a great idea, Wes. I'm sure. We're trying to get Jordan on board with us. But yeah, a 1987 Pontiac for prize, that would be amazing. We got to get in touch with Kirkpatrick Motors and just see what can happen. All right, Adam. I stole the show in the last part of this segment. I'm going to let you steal the show with these two amazing individuals. Incredible couple, great cook, even better people, fun to hang out with.
That's plural, right?
ABS for life.
Yes.
We have lifetime. We got tattoos and everything. It's amazing.
Matching.
Go ahead, Adam.
So y'all had a great weekend. So when did y'all think y'all had this one?
About the 54th minute into the contest awards, I was like, "What just happened?" No, it was interesting. I don't think we had, the best cook of our life, and we've talked about this before multiple times. I think everybody talked about it, that you think your best cook is always going to be your worst cook, and your worst cook is going to be end up being your best cook. So, it just funny. Joel said it rained here a little bit ago. When I was coming home from work, and it was a rainbow just ended up in our backyard, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the way we felt like. It's just the luck of the Irish, if you will. Kind of just hit us just right.
Money.
Say again.
She was out there counting her money from the weekend.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I told David this morning. I said I feel like a 16 handicap golfer. We've gone like a bunch of bogeys and a par thrown in there, and then all of a sudden we had an eagle. We're like, yes, I'm in. We'll double bogey next time. So
who cares? It's that last shot that keeps you going.
It was funny because they do top 15 at this event, and they pay out that far down, so they call out all top 15, and as you're going through it, you're kind of doing the math in your head a little bit, and you're trying to figure out how this is all going to roll, and obviously the place doesn't matter as much as the points do, so. And then you kind of lose track. Oh, did someone get so-and-so get a call? Who didn't get a call? And then they only did top 5, which was a little overall. And that was a little disturbing. So, because they only pay out top 5, and we didn't, no one really said anything about it. So they did top 5, and we didn't hear the 5 and the 4, and then we heard Wes at 3, and he had 2 calls and 2 good calls, and we're like, well, son of a bitch, how did that guy get 2 good calls? And all right, so maybe we're going to be reserve, and then we didn't hear our name for reserve, and we're like, there was Tim Shears, like, well, shit, he didn't win, so that's going to be weird. He didn't win one. And so we're like, well, how is this not going to work out? It's got to work out, right? I mean, you second guess yourself, but you can't say anything. You can't say anything. Wes is like, you got this. The match is right.
Yeah.
So
Wes is yelling at it, yelling at us, but it's like, it's you. And then Bill Purvis is across the way. He's like, I'm telling you, it's you. And I'm like, until you hear your name call, because it messes when they do top 15 on the meets. I mean, you guys know this. When, at least for me, when they do top 15 for the meet, for the categories, it just messes with your mind, because in my mind, I just hear them called, right? Like I know that who got a call. And then when they just did top 5 overall, you're like, which they did that because that's who got a payout. Somebody asked a question that was weird. It's just, they call out the payouts. And so to David's point, like when Wes got 3rd, then I'm going, well, I know he had 2 calls, but there were 2 pretty high calls. But
I mean, that's, as you're saying, like if you call top 15, there's a huge difference in first to 15, even 10 to 15, right? Like in chicken, generally top, I don't know how many teams were there, but half the field could be in the 172 range, right? At brisket, once you get past top 10, it might be 168. You don't know.
We had 3. I mean, we went top 10 in the first 3 categories in chicken, ribs, and pork. And I looked to Paul with Kermit Sex. He was sitting beside me. I said, now you're going to see how you shit the bed in a contest, because we ain't going to get a brisket call, because our brisket was crap. I did not like our brisket at all, which I didn't like our brisket at Murfreesboro last year either, but it was
sorry. Good God, man.
But this was different.
Your concerns right here now.
No, I mean, that's just goes. It's like that crazy thing. Like I did not like
David, I mean, it's going to be all right. I'm here for you. If you need something, I mean,
flavor-wise, tenderness was fine. It's his fault.
Getting awkward.
So I said that to Paul, and I'm like, we're going to shit the bed. Here's how you lose a contest. And then when they called us for 12th in brisket, I'm like, hallelujah, praise the Lord. Okay, we'll at least be in the hunt, but not imagining we'd finish it. So, I mean, it's a shocker again.
Yeah,
we'll double bogey on Saturday, so it's all good.
There were no 180. There's only 180 in pork, and then nothing over 700. So it was, and to Wes's point, it was very. It was honestly, it's probably the best judging we've seen at a contest. Is right straight down the road. Nothing was abnormal from anybody, it appears. So,
well, that's what's funny. Wes Garrett, who got 3rd. I mean, that guy's both of y'all come out of retirement, don't cook at all, and then you come out and just kill it.
And there was it was like a 3-point difference, I think, between us and Tim Shear.
Well, that's I like that, Joel. Like, yeah, there was only a difference. I mean, we smoked them.
Oh, between Tim and Wes, it was like a nanosecond, right? It was like it was.
I mean, Wes probably overachieved this weekend. In all fairness, we just got lucky. So there's that. I mean, for goodness sakes, a guy who's been cooking every weekend for vending, you'd think he got a pretty good handle on the cook, right? I mean,
the guy cooks every weekend now.
Yes.
I mean, if he's not cooking or vending, he's producing award-winning shows that, the title's in barbecue.
Yes.
So now our approach to every barbecue contest going forward is, 1, we have to go on that show.
Or a show.
Now we're really going to shit the bed now.
No.
And then secondly, we have to have a dog available for adoption and adopt it out at the contest, because we gave away our good luck charm.
We did. We had a dog. We were fostering a dog.
Somewhat. We still have the foster dog, but somebody's trying her on for size. But,
So it's working great. We're foster parents now.
Sounds like you're doing great.
We weren't foster
parents, and we gave them away. It's cool. Whatever.
Wes, he turned in brisket nachos. It was crazy. I mean, you guys, a lot of people on this call for sure have been in that. I mean, we're still processing.
But I'll tell you,
David still has a big check over the fireplace.
I'll tell you what happened.
It'll be there forever.
Where's the
Forever.
ring?
That'll be
Where's
the
the
only.
ring?
it's over the fireplace. It's fantastic. No, I was going to tell you, Brian, that
No, Wes, you cannot. Stop it.
The one thing that was good about the contest is that I really paid more attention to the timeline and my alarm was going off because I wasn't really familiar with everything. I think sometimes you get a little complacent. For us, if I did like 10, 5 or 6 contests in a row, which is really strange.
Yep.
That 5th or 6th one, I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing, and I'll forget a step. And honestly, knock on wood, we didn't forget a step. We didn't miss a time. We didn't, it just kind of went real smooth, and there was nothing that caught us off by guard.
I mean, I can attest to that. Like, I don't cook very often, so I have a laminated, and Adam he's seen it. He knows. I mean, I'm not lying. I have a laminated timeline with every process that I'm supposed to do because I don't cook that much, and I will forget what I do. Right? Like, it tells me you put a quarter cup of this in, a quarter cup, right? Like, it is very much a quarter cup of this and a quarter cup of that. Sprinkle of this, whatever, but it's one of those things that if you don't cook a lot, I think it goes both ways. Once you cook a lot, like Adam, and he was going through, we've talked about this, he was going through a stretch where they cooked all the time and it was like second nature to him and it got easy, right, Adam? I mean, we've had this conversation.
Yeah, it's just like riding a bike. You don't forget. You just boom, boom, boom. Then you take a month off and you're like, wait, what do I do now?
Yeah.
But you get complacent because you think you know it so well. Whereas when you don't cook, as you said, David, you go in knowing I'm going to forget something.
I think you pay more attention when you don't cook like that and you had 6 weeks off. Then you do it every weekend. Oh, I do it this, and this. I've been doing it this long, and you just do it. And then you get in that motion, and then you skip a step here. Or did I do that? Did I turn this? But you had alarm set because you was worried.
Well, someone's mentioned before that there's 2 different types of people that cook these things. There's the engineer, the technical guy who just kind of goes by timeline, and there's the cook, right? And I don't think we're the cook. We can't just make stuff up on the fly like a Tim can or a Brad can or a Chris Shaver can.
We know about that.
We can't, Joel. So they can fix things kind of on the fly, and they can
Pretty
take.
sure I fix that pork.
You didn't do anything. They could take their smoker to 600 degrees and still be okay. Me, I'd be freaking out and panicking the whole time. So no, I think there's a difference in people that have a regimented strategy and stick to it and don't divert from it versus guys that kind of just fly by the seat of the pants and do very well.
That's a great show that you just brought up. I mean, it would be awesome to have a couple people that are Roberts of the world and people like that are very structured, very to the point. Paul and Lynn with Rooters and Tutors, they're very structured. And then you have others like a Jason Singletary or somebody like that. It's like, keep it simple, just go cook and just have a conversation with the 2 of them about what goes through your mind at a contest, right? Because I mean, that's a great idea. So this brings us to the next section in our. I think you're looking at, I said that Bad Rooster, Adam with Bad Rooster is our co-host, and the hope is that we can get David and Joel to come on board with us at some point in time and be a part of Chewin the BBQ Fat because of the knowledge they bring to this sport that we have is just second to none. Right, Adam?
Oh, that's the big ta-da?
That's the breaking news.
That's the news.
Wait a minute. I don't have enough whiskey in my glass.
I didn't get the contract. I don't know. You didn't mail that? I mean, I don't. What's
It was when you signed the ABS contract, it was in there. You just didn't.
You just didn't know it.
It's the fine print.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wes Garrett's the only one that gets the big contracts. I mean,
Oh, crap.
He gets paid.
I want just a little bit of his money, please. That sounds cool. If we can, whatever we can do to help you, your show, your everything you got going on, we're on board. We're good with it.
Yeah, but we don't always agree. You know that, right?
No.
that's what makes it so good. I mean,
I don't agree with what he just said.
Look, I'm telling you. Well,
Not about being on the show, but about the cooking. Like, I think we have a timeline for timelines, right? We have recipes.
well, I'll be honest with you. I know y'all. I know y'all. I think y'all are different, right? I think y'all are the epitome of that. That one of you is more structured and one of you is more, let's see what happens. And I think that is one of the reasons you're such a great team but two, it's like it makes it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yes,
partner-
I'm with you, Charles. Thank you.
Charles just wants to shig off of us, right? That's what he's saying.
She got the wrong guy.
I'm just kidding. Shigging off the wrong.
Man,
Yeah, me. Y'all want you guys just want me to tell you everything.
well, we're hoping that Chewin the BBQ Fat is going to get back.
Honey.
The goal that we're going to try to do this year, and we're going to get back to y'all. Love you, Wes. The goal of the show is to get back into, like, I really want to go back and have the classes, the round table of the meets and everything else. And then we're going to try to do some live from contest and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Man, y'all are awesome. So yes, Scotty, everybody, David just needs to listen to Joelle. I need to listen to Ellen. Adam, you need to listen to Tanya. I mean, if we would just do that, we'd be a lot better off. I think we could all agree with that.
Hey, can we agree tonight that the some shows that we do it's just me, and some shows we do it's just Joelle?
I think Adam just gave a thumbs up.
Yes.
No, y'all can just take it. And then I'll have to be.
No. I'm saying it'd be Brian and Adam, and then either me or Joelle.
I think they probably already have a plan, honey.
Ah, shit.
Hey, we're gonna look. We love it. We love that. We just want it to be. We want it to be fun. We want it to be a little different. Jay Craig. I've already talked to Jay Craig with Outlaw Smokers. I want him to come on, and I would like to be more specific with what's going on in barbecue. I think it's gotten all these shows have gotten to the point to where it's just it is what it is. It's gotten watered down, right? Like competition barbecue shows, they're a dime a dozen now. There's 2 a week. So I want to see if we can't do something a little different, get narrowed down and be more of a specific show. And that's what we're looking at doing. I've got KCBS coming on to talk to them soon. We've got Jay Craig lined up to come in to talk about what they're doing. And then that's just to start, but that's the kind of direction that we want to go in. And then that way I have Adam, who's got plenty of knowledge. I got David or Joelle, either way, and or however y'all want to do that, to come in and just ask the questions that y'all want to ask and ask the hard questions. Wes Garrett's always given me a hard time about not stirring the pot. And I don't want to stir the pot. That's not the goal. But to ask a question and get the answers to come out that we need to do. I think that's going to be what's going to be fun moving forward. And if you have any questions, you're going to be able to email it in or put it on the Facebook page. Do something so that we can make this as good as y'all want it to be. So not a competition barbecue show or a comp show with very narrow ideas. Yes, probably more of a comp show with narrow ideas, because if you want to do anyway. But that's our thought. That's where we're headed. What do you think, Dave? You're thinking about something.
I like it. I think there's so much opportunity to have random judges on every once in a while, and the KCBS thing, I think it's fantastic. Even have more vendors, if you will, the Proud Souls of the world, the Snake River Farms people of the world, have all those guys on there. Well, no,
I'd love it. I'd have Chris on in a second.
Just to have different folks on there and talk about their technologies and how things have evolved. And I think it's fantastic. For Wes, probably need a financial planner so he can figure out his stuff for the year. But no, I think there's opportunity not just to talk to teams all the time. There's so many more people involved in barbecue that need to have a voice out there.
100%. And that's what I've noticed going forward. And that's what we started that back in the day. And then we kind of went away from it. I would love to get back to that, to the point of, if somebody doesn't know what kind of smoker to get, right? Like why go with an offset? Why go with a reverse flow? Why go with a can? Why go with certain type of cans? Why go with a gravity fed? Why go with a pellet grill? Just try to figure out what's going on so people can make a more informed decision of what they do going forward. I mean, we had people buying. I've talked to people that bought smokers after our show, and it made me be like, you know what? We're not taking advantage of what we've got here. So we ought to do something. Does seem to be a lot of ABS teams on the ABS show. Well, there is that too. So I know that I can call my ABS guys, and they like us enough to come on the show for us. But that will not be the case. We are going to broaden the horizon. It will not just be ABS teams. So, Adam, what do you think? What are your ideas? I love talking. I love putting Adam on the spot. Tanya's in the background.
She's not here.
She's not there.
No.
Okay.
It's like we talked earlier about having other people on and getting more than just competition barbecue. Get like you said, the vendors of barbecue out there. Let them have their take on it.
Well, and too, Brian, I think there's something to be said for the content and getting people to watch the show after the show, watch it, during the week. And even if your show is only 30 minutes long, but it's a condensed topic or information,
hot topics.
Yeah, so that's a hot topic thing that people just can kind of come in, watch it for 30 minutes, and go on about their day. It's not 2.5 hours long to where they just kind of get lost in the boredom and lose something out of the show. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that it has to be taking forever, but I think your content will be super inventive and different from the norm that we've seen in the last few years.
I mean, Jay Craig just texted me some pictures of some smokers he's working on. Amazing. Right. And as we were talking about all this, it was like, he's sitting there saying, hey, look, I would love to get some feedback from the people to know what everybody wants on a smoker. Right. Like, so it goes both ways. It goes as much for us learning about them and them learning about what we want. The people will listen to us. And I think that's so amazing.
It's like our friend, my friend Jim that was here yesterday. He was talking to us about his barrels, and he's like, "Oh, do you use blowers on it, that kind of stuff?" And we were talking. I mean, we're talking to him. He's not even a competition cook or cook at all. He just has a buddy that does KCBS up in Virginia, but he's asking us about it, right? It's like, well, people want to know that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's little things like that. Like somebody asked us on another show about how many drums we cook on, and why. I mean, I know it seems something simple, but
no, for sure.
Sometimes you don't get to answer all that stuff, right? And being a bit more, I think, focused on it would be helpful to people. So
it's like I told him, I was like,
and fun.
Why do you want well, anyway, that's a whole other show. That's gonna be a good show. And that is a great question. Why do you do what you do? So what was it that y'all cook on cans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the thought at Arkansas where y'all just were of what was it that you think put y'all over the top?
Low expectations. I will tell you, Joelle's ribs were really good. It was probably the best ribs we've had that she's ever cooked. And it was funny because we've never pulled all six
Maybe
ribs.
One time.
All six
one
ribs
time.
I don't think from all our turn-in was off one rack. We've never done it before that I know of. And it was just so good. I don't know. We didn't have a super bit of, oh my God, the best cook in the world, but just an easiness about it. It wasn't very difficult.
I do think it goes back to what we said earlier, like having that at least a bit of a regimental approach to how we do things, because when you lose that muscle memory because you're not doing it every weekend, I didn't feel like we missed, and we didn't. We said we didn't miss. In that regards, we didn't miss a lick, right? Like we just, because everything's kind of laid out. Even though I will say I didn't need the timer. Like we picked it up relatively quickly, so maybe we've done it enough now that we have a bit of muscle memory. But for chicken, like we always do thighs. We cook more thighs than normal. Just because it had been a while, and he goes, I just want to be, comfortable.
Just wanted to trim more chicken.
Yeah, we both trimmed more chicken,
Can you
but it gave us options right in the box. And we only put 6 pieces for chicken, and we only put 6 ribs in. Typically I do 7 or 8 ribs, and I'm like, you know what? Even though I like them, they may not like it. I'm just doing the 6 ones that we like. And like David said, they all came out of that same rack. Pork was,
pork went crazy. I mean, pork was
I really probably, Robert's given us a lot of help. And I think Lynn and Paul we did their class too. They helped us a lot. Like I'd say probably we did the Lynn and Paul approach to the pork. y'all can take that for whatever you want it
Take
to.
a class and figure it out. Take a class and figure it
But
out.
very much so. Which I'm like, no, do more of that. And that's when I say me on the pork. Brisket, we did our normal. It just didn't taste right to me, but I mean, it worked. Thank you, God, but it worked.
When you say it didn't taste right, that's a very vague.
I
Means
know. It
nothing
just,
to anybody. What do you mean by it didn't taste right? What did it do? What was it?
I wouldn't call it an off-putting taste, but it wasn't that regular beefy taste that we normally
Yeah.
have. It wasn't
usually
yeah,
very,
it's pretty
very
beefy. Pretty beefy.
and I love it. Like when he takes it and takes it out before you even like when you cut the
Yeah, when I first cut that first slice,
cut
you'll
it,
taste it.
and I'll taste it, and I'll like spot on. And it was actually what was funny. This was different. This is a little bit of a different routine because we knew we were going to leave, so I was obsessive over getting the dishes done. So I was actually over there washing dishes while he was taking the fat cap off and doing his normal stuff. Normally that's what I taste, and I didn't taste it. So by the time I got back over there, I'm like, he was slicing it and like midway through the brisket. And then then I picked up a piece, I'm like, I don't know. It's just not that same beefy taste that it normally has. I don't know that I like it. And I mean, obviously we made it work, but to answer the question, somebody said, what's normal? Normally before we do anything else to it, when we take it and slice it, it's normally very beefy tasting. It was not. It wasn't wangy. Somebody may ask the question, is it wangy? It wasn't that. It was just, I don't know, it's just a different taste than what I'm normally used to.
Did you
But
what
it worked. Maybe
kind of protein did you cook? What kind of meat?
it was an
The
A9.
A9. Yeah.
It was one I picked. I mean, I did the Wes and Hannah, and I went down there while I was in
Vacation for 2 weeks.
I was in my last month of non-employment. I made most of it. And I was in Panama City, so stopped to see Kevin and picked out 2. And that was one of them that we cooked. So
I think the cook was good overall. It didn't. There's nothing very overwhelming about it. But again,
it's terrible to say that though, right?
We've talked about this multiple times with Wes and some other folks. So we've taken a lot of classes a lot of classes here in the last 2 years, and it's gotten a bit overwhelming. And we've tried to make it as simple as possible. And I think we did make it pretty simple this past weekend. We didn't get crazy. There's nothing crazy about our sauces and our rubs and what we're doing. So we're not adding 15,000 ingredients to an injection. We don't do that, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do that. But we know people that don't do that, and we're excited to take some classes here in December from a guy that I think doesn't do anything like this. So at this point, we know so much. It's gotten a little confusing. We're kind of going back to not to where we were, but taking the best of what we've learned from everyone.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, silly.
Stupid.
Silly.
Yeah.
Matt said when you've said the fat cap off, I mean, that's what I call it. I mean, I don't know. If you took our brisket class, you would know how much fat cap we leave on it, Matt. So you should go to the ABS class next year.
It's like that thick on the bottom.
Like this thick.
Yeah, it's not that thick.
So if you had to take a class, and there was one coming up in January, which one would you take?
Well, definitely
the ABS class.
Yeah,
then Matt Osmond, you would know how much fat caps leave on your brisket.
Well, we're not teaching that, but if we were to take it because we want to learn more about pork, definitely the ABS class because there's going to be a great pork cook there, from my understanding.
Yes, I hear the really, really good pork cook's going to be at that class.
We moved him to cook brisket. So Robert is not going to be cooking pork.
Brian, you're a good pork cook, so quit.
No, I'm excited about it. I really am excited to cook pork. It's going to be different because I like to lead the class much more than teach a class. But we're going to figure all that out. So we'll get all that squared away.
I will say, Brian, though, for me at least, David may have a different opinion. It goes back to what he was saying earlier, though. It's like we did a lot of classes this last year and a half, and a lot of stuff gets in your head, and that's one approach we said is like we're gonna just kind of dial it back, take it simple, don't be crazy. And for me, it's my approach is we got to nail tenderness. I think there's a lot of people on here that can appreciate that. Like it can taste what it tastes like, but if you screw up on tenderness, like you're really shooting yourself in the foot. And my whole thing with ribs has been focused. I have not changed anything I do from a flavor profile, and I've done the ABS class. I've done a lot of rib classes, and I haven't really changed my recipe. I mean, I've tweaked just a couple of little. That's it, just little tweaks. I've been totally focused on tenderness, and I think you've been really good on tenderness with brisket. I think that's what's paid off for us.
Mhm.
We're figuring out the pork from a tenderness perspective. And that would be my one thing to anybody is like, just, you can get obsessed about the flavor profile, but if you're screwing it up on tenderness, it ain't going to do you any good that you got flavor. Like just get the tenderness piece of it figured out.
I remember we had Urkel on, and Adam and I've talked about this quite a bit. We had Urkel on probably a year or so ago, maybe 2 years. He was like, if you overcook it, it makes it bland and it gets all the flavor away. If you undercook it, it doesn't release all the fat enough. So the way to get that perfect flavor is to cook it perfectly on their tenderness. So get your tenderness perfect, and then you can start adjusting the flavors because you don't know what that's really going to taste like until the tenderness is right.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it, Brian. I mean, you asked maybe what the one thing is, and that's one thing that David and I talked a lot about in the early season, where we really weren't we weren't hitting like we did last year. And I don't think it was a flavor thing. I do think it was a tenderness, and we just kind of really were overly focused on that. I think we did nail on the meats from a tenderness perspective. I thought they were all spot on. Were they necessarily the flavor necessarily?
Mhm.
But I do think it was a tenderness thing.
That was my biggest fear this weekend, honestly, Brian, was that taking 10 weeks off, that tenderness was, we're going to lose the tenderness feel, if you will. You can't, taste wise, everything's going to come out okay if you use the same stuff you're using. But tenderness wise, man, if you get on a good rhythm. To Adam's point, if you're cooking and you're kind of on cruise control, you can feel that tenderness every time. But that was probably my biggest fear. Is like, what is tenderness again? What does that mean? So,
And that goes back to like from a class perspective for me, like I want to focus on, because we cook on drums, I want to focus on drum cooks. Like I learning more about cooking on my drum, which you think it's just a drum, how hard can it be? But I mean, you can really screw something up on a drum pretty very, very quickly, right? Like it can go
I'm good
to,
at that.
yeah. I mean,
please.
people are like, how do you not get your ribs over
Like
burnt?
silver.
I can remember having conversations with Wes, remember like 2.5 years ago. I'm like talking to him about my ribs, like, and just going through that process of learning how to truly cook on what you're cooking on, right?
Hey, I can burn some ribs on a drum. Did it
I'll
at the
probably
wall.
burn mine
Adam
this-
saw him. Hey, Adam saw
It
it.
happens quick. It's
But it
fire.
happened really fast. I don't know what happened. I'm still having nightmares about cooking. I'm still terrified of cooking ribs because of that. But anyway, Adam, do you have anything to ask him? I've got another question if you
Go ahead.
So, talking about tenderness in meat, tenderness is important in all categories. I think we can. I do actually, Wes. What meat do you think tenderness is the absolute most important?
Well, that's a great question.
And how do you know when it hits that tenderness?
That's a great question. I mean,
They're all important. I get it, right? Like
I'm
I
going to
know.
answer first, and then I'll let David, because I like talking.
Okay.
Shocker.
No, shocker. I'm going to say chicken because that's the first protein they get, but they're also very hungry. And so maybe you get a little bit of a pass with tenderness in chicken because of that. But chicken can go bad so quick, right?
So how do you know it's tender?
You know,
That's not true.
no, it is true because this weekend we did chicken, and when you taste it, it's hot as shit, right? It's like right off the smoker, you taste it. You don't have time to let that thing cool down. And I tasted it, I'm like, this is not great. I'm not happy with it. And when Joelle turned in, she came back, it cooled off. She ate another bite when the judges would eat another bite, and it's fantastic. That chicken to me is gonna be the hardest thing to ever figure out tenderness thing because you don't know what you're actually turning in. Plus, you're not turning in the same piece that you just took a bite out of. So chicken's ridiculous. It's a crapshoot, and thankfully they score high even if you have a shitty piece of chicken.
Because they're hungry. But
right.
with that being said, is you cook. That's I think the important piece of having them relatively the same size, so that when you do taste them later, when it's cooled off, it's somewhat reflective of what you turned
Brian,
in.
that your question is the hardest question I think
But
I've ever been asked. That's
I
the
don't know.
stupidest
I mean,
question.
ribs.
Dumbest question.
I agree. Ribs are tough.
Stupidest question.
Ugh, they're all bad.
Well, because ribs can be snappy, and you get a snappy rib, you're like, this is terrible, garbage. You get for us on the pulled pork side of it, we don't do a lot of pulled pork, but if we did, we have done it and screwed it up because we don't know what good pulled pork is.
We do. We just can't seem to produce
money muscle is a fine line between overcooked and undercooked, and then brisket, as we know, it changes. Each slice changes as you get to the fattier side, so it's kind of a crapshoot even as to what you turn in. You know, you turn your fattier pieces in and you leave your leaner pieces in the back, and then what does it do on that 15 minute the 15 minutes between you boxing or 10 minutes between boxing and they're actually tasting it? Man, you're the dumbest question ever. I hate you.
It's not a dumb question. I think they're all equally important. How about that?
But okay, so the question is, how
They're
can
all
you
weighted
tell?
the same from a tenderness
Like-
taste and
I don't cook chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I spilled my drink on me. How do you know, Adam? You're a great chicken cook, and don't give all of your secrets because if you want to know the exact secrets, you got to come to class because Adam's teaching chicken. And I think I know this answer, but I don't know. How do you know the chicken is tender? Because most people I know cook chicken to a timeline, or basically they don't really like. You're not picking them up and you're not bending them. You're not probing them. You're not. So what do you do?
I go to a timeline and then I go to a look, and a certain look on the skin is when I know it's done. There'll be one or two. It may have a little slip somewhere, and they're pretty done.
But that's basically saying that you trimmed every piece of skin the same.
yeah.
Right.
Are
So
you're doing thighs. Yes.
Yep.
They do thighs and wings. I'm going to go ahead and throw them out under the bus there. So
Yeah, that's
that's
fine.
all the problem about being a co-host here, Adam. You got to give a little bit of your stuff out. Sorry, Tanya. But I'm not going to give any information about it, but their freaking wings are amazing. Ribs, I know you got the bend test. I know you got the blowout test. I know you got the probe test, right? Like you got things you can look at in ribs. Pork, I know for me in pork, I look at it. There's something I'm actually looking for in pork on the money muscle to see when things are going on. And then brisket, it's a probe tender thing. So to me, I don't know how you tell the perfect tenderness on the different meats is what I'm trying to get for you pros.
They're all going to be different because they're all different. They're all different meat components. Like the protein, the muscle fiber is different. So it is different. Like that just comes, and we're not necessarily there. It comes with cooking it and feeling it.
Okay.
Y'all start checking at a temperature or a time?
Temperature.
Well,
Every time.
once we wrap it, I mean, it's not
I probe them in the wrap and I go to a certain temperature. It's funny though, this weekend I had 2 probes in there. I can't put a probe in every piece of chicken. I had 2 probes in there, and one of them, and maybe
like
it's
a
a bad
fat one
probe.
and a little one.
You don't do that like Wes? You have 15 probes coming out your grill?
I have a big octopus come out of it now. No, and some of them weren't getting to temperature. I'm like, this is bullshit. So
You weren't worried about chicken.
it was weird. Chicken was a little weird this weekend, but yeah, I go to a temperature when it's done, it's done, and I can't do anything about it after that. When I think it's done,
Your drum's hotter than the other?
no, my chicken drum is the same as it's 300 degrees, just like my everything else.
But and it's in a pan, so by that time it's not in the hot spot.
You talking about a diffuser?
No, I was talking about like the front to back. Like,
Yeah.
was the front will be hotter than the back, and the back will
Well,
be
the
hotter.
back is usually going to be hotter than the front.
No, we use a diffuser, so it's pretty even heat right through the middle of it. I don't know what you're talking about front to back. We don't do that. It's one pan right in the
I
middle.
disagree.
I agree with you, Adam.
Joelle has no idea. She doesn't cook chicken. She's cleaning at this point.
No,
so
but it
no
doesn't
idea.
matter what.
You put two pans on there. The back pan's gonna get done before the front pan most of the time.
Yeah. Well, we're only in one pan though, Adam. So we're on the front of the drum. So that's why he says there's no difference, right? Because if you had two pans, it would be different. But then he's spinning it.
No,
I don't know why he's spinning it.
I don't spin it.
Adam, we're on the same page, dude.
Y'all are cooking. Y'all are doing the show together every time. There's not going to be any separation.
Joelle doesn't cook chicken.
You're
She has no
showing
idea.
yourselves.
I know, but I know heat. Like I get what Adam's saying is like the back of the drum by the smokestack is going to be hotter than it is on the front of it, and that's why
That's a problem too. It makes it
we
hotter.
put a water pan back there for a reason.
We don't have a
right?
water pan in there either.
Well, not on his chicken.
Not on chicken.
David, Joe, if y'all didn't know.
I swear to God, it's like cooking with a new person every time. It's fantastic. I love it. One day I'll give
He
you the time.
thinks all I do is, cook ribs and wash dishes.
For the record, Joelle wants to go do a cook by herself.
And for the record, Joelle knows she can.
This is awesome.
I
Love
said
it.
it.
ABS.
How cool would that be? ABS
up
Classic, one versus each other. That'd be amazing, right?
That's what we should do. We've talked about it.
Joelle wants to do it.
I'll leave you a drum or two if you need one.
Ellen wants to get in with that, but she can't do it at the ABS Classic because
Lex and I have talked about doing it.
You need to
Lex and I and David and Robert. Because
have a women's team against a men's team. We're gonna smoke the shit out of y'all.
girls can girl.
Pun intended.
oh me.
I want to go back to something Wes said about brisket, though, and I think this is the thing: is brisket to me is especially cooking where we cook. I don't think people really know what brisket is. Like they have this, I don't know, crazy. Like a lot of the teams at top 5 last weekend with brisket did burn ends, which I think that's fantastic. But most of the times in this area, the burn ends will just bring you down because people in the Mid-South don't understand what burn ends are, right?
So do you turn in burn-ins?
Shit, no.
Okay.
Crazy? No way.
Mhm.
I worried there for a
I wouldn't
second.
do that on a bet.
That's Wes. I see what you're saying, Wes.
Ain't no way I turn in burn ends. I wouldn't turn in burn ends maybe if Bill Purvis gave me to him, I'd probably turn them in, but or Bill Hine turn them in. As a matter of fact, I turn them in, but no, I wouldn't turn my shit in. Bill, my burn ends turn into ground beef. We had some tonight and it was delicious. So yes,
Only the best for y'all. Y'all don't do anything other than Wagyu burn-in.
wet Wagyu ground beef.
Stuffed poblano peppers. That's what we
It's
made.
good. Yeah, that's right. Little gringo water burn ends.
Yeah, exactly. That's the $64,000.
I love burn ends. They're my favorite, but I think a lot of people don't get them.
That's awesome.
Mm-mm.
Adam?
I've turned them in once this year, but it wasn't at a KCBS.
Where was it at?
GBA.
Okay.
How had it go?
How'd it go?
4th.
Tim was 4th and did not turn burn-ins. Burn-ins for the win. Look at Bill.
Good
But
job.
see, that's Bill. Bill,
Burn
Triple
ends
H.
for the win.
You know,
I mean, when you're Bill and Andrea, you can do whatever. I mean, those two are.
They
can
are
turn
the
into-
true
They
Can
can
do
turn
no wrong.
into
king and queen.
triplets in a big okay.
That's what I want to do. I want it to be Andrea and I on a team against.
I don't think Bill would let Andrea leave. I don't think he would
Very
let her
true.
go somewhere.
That's why I want.
I
I
want-
want to see how it goes down for both of them.
I like to see me and Andrew on team, and then Bill and Joelle, and see who survives that. I think it'd become bloodshed in our trailer because it's just like my slice my neck, you know. It'd be,
She'd be like, David, that's what you're doing.
you're terrible. You're the worst cook ever, David. Yeah, sorry, Andrea. I disappointed you.
Sorry, disappointed
Sorry
you.
to let you down.
Hey, by the way, I think it was awesome that Bill won the soy trophy this past week in Murfreesboro. Said it had to go to a farmer.
Yes.
And it-
Look, he sponsored it. He had he probably sponsored that thing. He is the soybean farmer.
He brought his own
That's
bag of soybeans
awesome,
to the
though.
contest.
Yeah. I mean, congratulations. I mean, ABS teams are just winning everything all over the place. We're winning soybean stuff. We're winning biggest contest around. We're winning. I mean, just winning everything. It's amazing. Proud of that. Y'all rock.
Hey, by the way, thank you for helping out our team that we're ambassador of for the Jack Daniels. We sent them your way for some product, and we've already got your stuff. They've already been shipped to us, and I think they bought maybe a couple $1,000s worth of product from you guys. But you guys did a really great hookup for those.
Where are they from? Estonia?
Estonia. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. I saw that come in. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Ellen was like, "Do you know this guy from?"
Do you know this person's wanting us to send product to your house?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is cool.
We said order your spices from ABS and then order your meat from Cordy. So
can't go wrong.
what are you gonna do, right? I mean, that's what we do. So so I got his. Well, their boxes came while we were in Pine Bluff, and my neighbor said, "Hey, I see all these boxes outside your front porch. I'll move them to your back porch." I mean, they're heavy.
He has a hernia.
Right? He has a hernia now.
Hey, my bride does that. She picks those up. She does all that. She is incredible.
She's cheap and don't want to use. Hey man, you sell boxes. She can use more than one.
We try to save money as much as possible for you, our customers. We want us to be. We try to be as good stewards as we can for our customers.
That's very nice of you. Very nice.
We care. All right, Adam. I'm going to let you wrap up the show as the co-host. I'm going to tell you what you've done well. You've done well, Adam. Dave and Joel, what do you think? As a co-host who loves to talk, he is very much a talker.
He's done great.
Very animated.
I think he can work on his background a little bit, and he looks way too comfortable. You need to get him in a.
We're going to get him
some
a ring
better
camera.
lighting, and be good.
Get him a ring camera.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's that.
Oh, Joel, that's not a camera.
It's
Ring lighting.
I mean, a ring light.
Yes.
And then, yes, Adam, you're awesome.
Well, I had to run in from cooking ribs at the fire department, take a shower, and get on real quick. So.
One of my favorite, and I think Wes is talking about it. I think one of my favorite
Thank you, Kevin.
Chewin the BBQ Fat moments was when we had our issues and Adam never moved. And Jason Singletary, I do believe, was on the show.
Is that a frozen?
And then he's like, no, he's blinking. No, he's. And then you hear in the background Tanya, talk, say something. That was one of the best. I mean, Tanya is hilarious. So cool.
I have to shush David.
And hold on a second. I mean, I've got to put my foot down here on this, Brian. Smoking Scully's barbecue. Adam is a chicken cooking machine.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. And Adam's not going to disagree. Tanya is a chicken cooking machine.
Yes.
She keeps
Do you agree, Adam?
Yes.
She's on me like that drum move. Fix
It is hilarious. So
She is. That would be like saying David's a rib queen.
Jimmy and I cooked with Adam and Tanya at Kennesaw.
He's a queen.
And he was like, holy smokes, she is on it on those on that drum. I mean, I got yelled at because the drum was too hot, and we fixed it and we made it happen. Ain't that right, Adam?
That's right.
I mean, it was teamwork right there. We were on it to make sure that we took care of her.
And you can't put more than one chicken on one drum on a drum, one pan of chicken on a drum. You have to put it on. All three drums have to have chicken on them.
Yes, we learned that too.
What?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna. If you wanted more information about chicken from Bad Rooster, there is a ABS Classic class coming up in January that you can get signed up for now. You can also. It is not too late to sign up for the barbecue contest coming up in November, less than 2 months away. We're getting super excited about it. ABS Classic coming up. Sign up for it at absclassic.com. Love to have you there. That's shaping up to be a contest again. Class, go ahead and get signed up. It's going to be awesome. David, Joel, is there anything you want to leave us with tonight?
Is this creepy to wear this on my hand like this? Like, you know, like hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey man, where's my money?
He's a made man.
Where's my money at, fool? Is that creepy? Is this
Not at all. I mean, not at all. I mean,
it's really
this hilarious.
Oh my gosh, my world.
My world. We're all just living in it, Joelle. I mean, I tell you what, we're lucky.
I
Heck
live
yeah,
with this
show it
every
off.
day. My luck.
Man, y'all are awesome. That's
Okay.
cooking. There's
It's
cooking.
got a little lid that
does have a little lid on
opens.
there. I can open the top of it and go, get a little bump here and there.
Okay.
You say that like you know what that is.
I watch TV.
I'm not learning a new part of David I didn't
I
know.
watched Tulsa King last week, and it's about this thing. So
Oh, love it.
I love
Guys,
you
y'all are
guys.
amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations on on a win that is amazing. Another congratulations. And y'all just keep going. Y'all are incredible.
Double bogey on Saturday, man. That's all I'm going to say.
shut your mouth, woman.
Hey, let it happen then. When y'all cooking again?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Is
Do you
that
know
what
what
is
a
that?
double bogey is, Brian? It's bad.
That's a double. That's 2 over par.
Very
Yeah.
good. Yes, it's not
I'd be
good.
happy with a double bogey every once in a while. You know, my golf game I haven't played lately. Triple
Hey,
bogey is as high as I take.
Home run last weekend, strikeout this weekend.
There you go. Now I got it now. Okay,
now,
great.
now
Got
we
it.
know the lingo.
That was
yeah.
a grand slam, and then a strikeout looking is what you're talking like.
We did an eagle. So we did like a,
Oh,
what do you call it, a walk-off homer? What do you call
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, walk off homer.
I don't know.
Yeah, walk off. You walked
That
it
was
off.
like an eagle last weekend. Now we're going to do a double bogey. Yeah, not good.
Well, that sounds good.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Can't wait to see y'all again. Y'all are not going to Pusacue, correct?
Correct.
Boo.
AOB.
Sorry. Hey, but we'll see you at the Royal. Live
At
action.
the Royal.
Live action at the Royal. We're gonna have a party Thursday night. Come see us. It's gonna be great. Cannot wait.
Margaritas.
Margaritas. We got what you want. We're gonna have
Costumes.
costumes. We're gonna have all kind of stuff. Robert and Lex are already stoked about it.
And we'll see them Friday.
Oh yeah, talk to them about it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Waffle House again this year. I tell you
Only
what.
a taste.
How excited
Taste
are y'all
once.
for the cheese platter, the midnight treat cheese platter? Robert bringing that out. That was amazing.
Weird.
And the
Y'all have a good night.
Patties.
Thank you everybody for watching. Look forward to seeing what we've got here at Chewin the BBQ Fat. It's going to be a lot of fun. We will see you soon next week on Chewin the BBQ Fat. Have a good one, everybody.
Guys, good night.